All right, so this is your All on the Altar, Lashun Pace. I'm not going to try to pronounce your first name, but Miss Brooks, this is the tutorial that you asked for. So this song is in the key of F sharp major. We will go over the scale and the number system, and then we will get started with the song. So for the key of F sharp major, the scale starts with F sharp. This is the 1. So your 1 is F sharp. Your 2 is G sharp. Your 3 is A sharp. Your 4 is B. The 5 is C sharp. The 6 is D sharp. The 7 is F. That should be called E sharp, but F, and then back to the 1, F sharp. If you want to go flats, it's G flat is your 1, A flat is your 2, B flat is the 3, C is the, actually it'd be C flat, but we're going to call it B for the 4, and then we're going to go D flat for the 5, E flat for the 6, F for the 7, and then you're back at G flat, if you want to call it flats. Okay, so the song, I'm just giving you the progression real fast, like for the intro part, and it's a part that you hear quite a lot in the song. That's what it starts off with. 6, 2, 5, 1. That's a 6, 2, 5, 1. Turn this down just a little bit. That way I don't have to yell. So you can start off the song with that little lick that they did. Something like that. So what that lick is, if you want to start off with that, or you can just start off with the chord that I play, and I'll show you both. So the lick, in your left hand, you're going to do the 6, which is E flat, and then go to the 3, which is B flat, and then back to the 6 on the lower register, and then to the 2. So 6, 3, 6, 2. In your left hand, if you want. You don't have to do this. I'll show you different ways to do it. 6, 3, 6, 2. And while you're doing that, your right hand is going to go 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Like that, if you want. And actually, when you get to the 3, you're actually playing the chord. So. And I added a note right there, so let me redo that. So I messed it up again. Okay, so 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, and then the chord. So sorry about that mix up. 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, and then the chord, which I'll show you. So when you hit the 6, you hit both the 6s at the same time in both hands. And then when you go to the 3 in your left hand, you go to the 7 in your right. And then when you go to the 6 over here in your left hand, you go to the 1. But then your left hand doesn't move for a little bit. It goes, your right hand goes to the 2, then back to the 1, and then you hit the 2 in your left hand with the chord. The chord is, in my right hand, G flat, B flat, C, and E flat. Or if you want to say sharps, F sharp, A sharp, C, and D sharp. So, yeah. And that's over the 2. Remember, we're going from the 6. We started with the 6. And then we went to the 2. Because we're doing a 6, 2, 5, 1 progression. Now, if you don't want to do all that, you can just go and do a chord over the 6. And just go straight to the chord. I did it up here earlier. It's the same chord down here. So if you want to do that, you have the 6 in your left hand, and then you have 7, the flat 5, which is C. You have the 6, which is E flat. You have the 1, which is G flat. And then you have the 3, which is B flat. That's C, E flat, G flat, and B flat. And that's over the E flat in your left. Then you go down to the 3 in your left hand, then to the 6 in your left hand, and then you go to that chord, which again, that chord is over the 2, which is A flat, and you have G flat, B flat, C, and E flat. And sorry, I did just straight up switch to saying flats, but if you want to say sharps, you can say that too. It's literally the same thing. So, that's what it'll sound like if you don't want to do that. And this is just the intro to the song. Okay, if you don't have that, just rewind it, look at the way that I taught it, and you'll have it. But after that, we're going to go to the 5, because remember, we're going 6, 2, now we're going to the 5. Once you're on the 5, you have D flat in the left hand, and I'm doing octaves. In my right hand, I have B, E flat, F, and A flat. That's over the 5. So we got 6, 2, 5, 1. And this is one of those kind of strange timings, like Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross, timings like that. got that boom, clap, clap, boom, clap, clap. So it's like it's a 3/4 timing, but it's got an extra little like clap in there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's a little bit different than like most songs, which would be most songs would be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. But this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you got to have that timing down and that the rhythm right in order to play this song. Okay, so. Okay, so that was we went over the 5. That's where we left off. Now we're going to go to the 1, because remember we did a 6, 2, 5, and now we're on the 1, which is G flat. When you're on the 1, you have G flat in your left hand. If you want to play the D flat, you can. And you have in your right hand B flat, D flat, and G flat. It's a G flat major chord. That's when you go to the 1. But as you notice, right before I hit the chord, this G flat chord, I actually grace note off of this A right here, where my thumb is. And that's what gives it that, you know, that churchy, old school feel. And there's a lot of that in this song. It's very old, traditional type of song. So if you want to do that lick in the very beginning, from the top of the song, like that. That's. Notice another thing that I'm doing in order to kind of fill up the time is I'm kind of playing with the chords. So I've already showed you the chords. You know, if you want to go just the chord. This. I'm only pressing the chord, the notes of the chord. But I'm kind of playing with those notes in order to fill up the time. So I'm like. Doing stuff like that in order to fill up the time. So like that. And I messed up the timing right there, but okay. So one more time, I'm trying to try to speed it up a little bit more. So you got 6, 2 to the 5, then to the 1. And then on the record, you'll hear some little pops that they do, which is just going to the 1, which we're in G flat. That's the 1. So we just do some octaves right there. G flat and G flat. If you want to add the D flat in your right hand too, for that, you can do that as well. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. You got 6, 2, to the 5, to the 1, right there. And then, so after those octave pops, you can go to this chord, which is in my left hand I got G flat, D flat, G flat. In my right hand I have B, or you can actually just play just a regular B major chord, which is B, D flat, and G flat. And that's over the 1. And remember, like anytime you're like hitting multiple notes in your left hand, all you gotta do, if it's to make it easier, is just take some of those out. and just do the G flat. Okay, that's G flat in the left, B, D flat, and G flat in the right. Or if you want to do G flat and D flat, you can do that. If you want to add the other one, the octave G flat, you can do that too. And what I was doing before, I was also in my right hand, I was adding the D flat. So I had B, D flat, E flat, and G flat. So in my right hand, I'm actually playing a B major 9, a B major at 9. Okay, so you got 6, 2, to the 5, to the 1. Octave pops, go to that chord I showed you, and then right back to the 1. Well, we're on the 1, but you got this chord over the 1, and then you got going right back to this chord over the 1. Remember, this chord was G flat in the left, and then you had B flat, D flat, and G flat in the right, and you grace note off of that A. So right before you push the chord, you push A, and then the chord. So slowing it down, you got 6. And that's just the chord I showed you from the beginning. 2, to the 5, to the 1. Octave pops, the other chord I showed you, and then right back to the first chord I showed you over the 1. Okay? From there, you have this traditional walk-up. Traditional walk-up. So I'll show you that. That walk goes from the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. You hear it a lot in gospel music, and then you're going to hear it all throughout this song too. So remember this 3 to the 5 walk up. So you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That's the progression that the bass player is going to play, or you're going to play in your left hand. Okay, so when you're on the 3, which is B flat, in your right hand you have D flat, G flat, and B flat. That's D flat, G flat, and B flat. And that's over the 3, which is B flat in your left. When you go to the 4, because remember we're walking from the 3 to the 5 right now. You're on the 4 right now, which is B in the left hand, and then in your right hand you have E flat, A flat, and B. When you go to the 5, you have D flat in the left hand, and then in the right hand you have D flat, G flat, and B flat. And if you want to grace note off of that A, you can. Like right before you push this chord that I just taught you, the G flat major in second inversion is what this is right here. Not talking about with the left hand, but that's a G flat major in second inversion. You can also grace note off of this A flat. So right before you press the chord, you push the A flat. Or you can just play it straight over the 5. So that's 3, 4, 5. Okay, now you're going to the 6. When you go to the 6, you have E flat in your left, and then the right you have C, E, and A. Okay? When you go go to the 7, you have the 7 in your left hand, which is F. And I'm doing the octaves. In my right hand, I have B, E flat, and A flat. That's B, E flat, A flat. Then you're going to the 1. And I'm grace noting off of that A. Okay? That's what it'll sound like. So from the top again, you got 6, 2, to the 5, to the 1. Octave pops, change the chord, here's the walk up. Sorry. Now with that walk up, you can do little, movements with your hand in order to make it sound more like that traditional style. And all they're doing is kind of arpeggiating it a little bit. So instead of just, oh, sorry. Instead of just playing the chord straight like that, you just playing the chord. Excuse me. Instead of doing that, sometimes they will kind of play with the chord. So stuff like that. So instead of just it's still kind of outlining the chord, but you're kind of playing with it a little bit. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, then I'll try to put my weight on that a little bit more on another video. Okay? So from the top, to the 5, to the 1. Walk up. So when after you get done with that traditional walk up, going from the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're on the 1. Which you can play as a regular G flat major chord, which is G flat, B flat, D flat, or you can do it the way I taught you with the playing this G flat major chord in first inversion and grace noting off of the 1. But either way, you're on the 1 chord right now. Okay, now you're gonna do this. Okay, in order to do that, like I said, we're on the 1 already. We just did that walk up. Now we're going, you're going to go to this F major chord in second inversion, which is C, F, A. And you're going to take this a half step up. This F major chord is going to go to F sharp major chord or G flat major chord, which is in your right hand, you're going to have D flat, G flat, and B flat. And that's going to be over the 5. So you're on the 1. You're going to go to the 5. This is, so when you take this F major chord up to the G flat major or F sharp major, that's when you go to the 5 in your left hand, which is D flat. Like that. One more time. Then you're going to go to this A flat minor chord in first inversion in your right hand. So this is a way that you can get to the 1 easily. This is a way that you can get to the 1 in like other songs as well, just by going from the 2 minor chord, which is what we're going to. This is the 1, this is the 2. We're going to go to its minor chord, and then we're going to go back to the 1, like that. So its minor chord is, if you want to play it in root position, it's the A flat minor chord, so A flat, B, and E flat. If you want to play it in first inversion, like I just played it earlier, that's B, E flat, A flat. You want to play it in second inversion, E flat, A flat, B. But either way, you're going to take that chord to the 1 major chord, which is, right now I'm playing it in second inversion, D flat, G flat, B flat. So make sure you know your inversions. Right now I'm playing that, I played both of those chords in first inversion. So I got A flat minor, which is the 2 minor, to the 1 major. It's a way that you can get from a minor chord to a major chord, just going from the 2 to the 1. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so once again, you got, this is from the top of like the verse. You're on the 1, going to the 5, and then here's that movement I just showed you, going from the 2 minor back to the 1. Okay, that's now we're going to do that walk up again, the walk up that we just did from the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Told you this is all throughout the song. So you got, I'm not going to go over that again because I've already taught it to you. So you'll have to go back and just remember that chord, that chord progression, because it's going to pop up all throughout the song. So I'm going to go from the very top so you can see where we are. Go slow. You're going to start at the 6. You're going to go to the 2 to the 5. So 6, 2, 5 to the 1. Change the chord back to the 1. Now walk up to the 5. Walk up to the 1. Go to the 5. Here's the walk. Then you're back on the 1 again. That's how it goes. All right. Moving on, you're going to do this. In your left hand, you're going to walk from the 1. You're going to walk to the 3, and then you're going to walk to the 6. So here's the 1. Walking to the 3 is going to be walking from the 1, 2, flat 3, 3. Okay, so that's 1, 2, flat 3, 3. Now you're going to go 5, flat 6, 6. So that's what it's going to be like. That's the 1, walking to the 3, walking to the 4. And then in the record, you hear something like that. I'll do it down here so you can see it better. Something like that, okay? So going from the 1. I'll teach you this, and I'll teach you an easier way to do it too. You can go. got 1 to the 3 to the 6. You can just do that. I'll teach you both ways. All right. So in your right hand, you're on the 1. When you walk to the 3, when you hit the 2, you can do this G flat major in second inversion. Oh, I'm so sorry. D flat, G flat, and B flat, and that's over the 2. When you're walking to the 3, when you're on that 2, you can hit this chord: G flat. Oh, sorry, D flat, G flat, and B flat. And I know it sounds weird, but you got A, and you got E flat, A flat, B. When you go to that flat 3. When you go to the 3, you got this chord: D, F, A flat, and D flat. Now when you walk to the 6, you can just go to a D flat major in second inversion, and you're right. So no chords on the 5, no chords on the flat 6. And then when you go to the 6, you have a chord, which is the chord is A flat, D flat, and F. If you want. So you're on the 1, walk to the 3, walk to the 6. You're on the 1. You got that? Like I say, anytime I'm going over something and it's not making sense, just feel free to message me and I'll try to explain that part a little bit better. So another way that you can do it is you're on the 1, you walk into the 3. Now from here, you can start doing this melody. So you're going down from the 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5. And then you're gonna go. You're rolling up from the 6 to the 7. And then going down from the flat 7, 6, 5. So you're on the 1 doing the walk up, so you can see it with the left hand. 1 to the 3, and I added a note there. Sorry about that. I'm not doing it right, but hopefully you can see what I'm saying. That's better. Hopefully you get that. All right, so you got, or if you don't want to do none of that stuff, you can literally just go 1 to the 3 to the 6, because it's really just target notes that you're going to. That's 1 to the 3 to the 6. Another way that you can play this part is, to make it easier, you can go 1, which is the G flat major chord, and then you can do a diminished over the 3. Still works. So you got 3 in your left hand, which is B flat, and in the right hand you got B, D, F, and A flat. And then when you go to the 6, you have a D flat major chord in your right hand, and that's over the 6, which is E flat. You got D flat, F, A flat. That's D flat, F, A flat. It still works if you want to do it that way. So for that walk up, okay, so you can do it like that. So here's the 5, back to the 1. You can do that walk up again. Walk into the 3. Here's that diminished one that I showed you. And then that some type of a D flat major chord in your right. Okay, very top of the song, because I want to make sure you know exactly where we are and what I'm showing you from the very top of the song, from the intro. 6, 2, to the 5, to the 1. Change the chord on the 1, back to the first chord on the 1. Walk up to the 5, walk up to the 1. Going to the 5, back to the 1. Do that walk up again. Now you're walking to the 3, walking to the 6. Like that. That's where we are. One more time. 6, 2, 5, 1. Walk to the 5, walk to the 1. Go to the 5, to the 1. Do the walk up. Walk to the 3, walk to the 6. Okay, now from there, you're gonna go to the flat 2, and you're gonna play this diminished chord, some type of diminished chord. So the flat 2 is G. In your right hand, you got G, B flat, D flat, E. And you can play this in any inversion. But you're gonna go to the flat 2 right there. Now you're gonna do that traditional walk up. Sorry. Or no matter the inversion of the right hand chord that you choose, you're gonna walk from the 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So after you go from the 1 to the 3 to the 6, walk into the 3 to the 6. You go to the flat 2. Now you're gonna go 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in your right hand, when you're going 2, 3, 4, 5 in the left hand, you're gonna be switching back from these chords. What that is D, G flat, A flat, B. That's the first chord. And then you're gonna go to the G flat major in second inversion, which is D flat, G flat, and B flat. So remember, we started off with D, G flat, A flat, and B. and we're going to go to D flat, G flat, and B flat. And you're going to switch off, going back and forth between those two chords. Like that. And that's going from the 2, when you're on the 2, and you're walking to the 5, you got the D, G flat, A flat, B chord. Then you're going to go up to the 3 in your left hand, which is B flat, and that's when you go to the D flat, G flat, and B flat in your right. And then you're going to the 4 in your left hand, and you're going right back to that D, G flat, A flat, B in your right. And then you got the D flat. Now we're on the 5. That's what we were walking to, which is back to that D flat, G flat, and B flat chord. Okay? Okay? From there, you're going to walk to the 3. And I walked from the 2, flat 3, to the 3, and I'm playing a D flat major in second inversion in my right hand. That's A flat, D flat, and F. That's over the 3. You walk to the 3. Now you're going to a 6. The version I choose to use over the 6 was E flat in the left hand, F, G flat, A flat, oh sorry, F, G flat, B flat, and D flat. If you want, you can leave the F out. And do E flat in the left, G flat, B flat, D flat. But I like that tension it gives. Okay, so start from the top. You got 6, 2, 5, 1. Walk. Go to the 5. Back to the 1. Walk again. Now you're walking to the 3. Walking to the 6. And you can use that same chord, flat 2, walk to the 5, 3, 6. And this is what I just showed you, that 3 going to the 6. Now you're going to go to the 2. The 2 is A flat. And in my left hand, I have A flat and E flat, but you can just put the A flat if you want. And then right hand, you got G flat, B flat, C, and then E flat. That's G flat, B flat, C, E flat. That's over the 2. Now you're going to go to the 5. The 5, you got the 5 in your left hand, which is D flat. Right hand, you got B, E flat, and A flat. Now you can do that 2 minor chord again, which is the B, E flat, A flat, and go to the 1. The 1 is G flat. You got B flat, D flat, G flat. The same type of chord that we've been playing the whole time. And then the inversion. Let's go from the top again. Sorry if I keep on doing that. I'm just trying to show you where I'm at. Got 6 to the 2, to the 5, to the 1. Octave pops, change the chord, and then go back to the 1. Now we're walking to the 5, walking to the 1. To the 5, to the 1. Walk again. Walk to the 3, to the 6. Flat 2, 2 to the 5. 3, 2, to the 5, to the 1. All right. Now, let me play it again so I can make sure I know where I'm at. Basically, you repeat everything that I just showed you over again, going all the way back to where you do the, going to the 5, to the 1, walking, walk to the 3, to the 6, to the flat 2, walk into the 5, to the 3, to the 6, to the 2, to the 5, to the 1. From here, you're going to go to the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go over that. So after you're back at the 1, after you do all the whole progression that I showed you, you're at the 1. Now you're going to go to the 5. When you're at the 5, you're at D flat in your left hand. Your right hand, you got E, A flat, B, and E flat. That's E, A flat, B, E flat. If you want, you can just do an E major chord, which is E, A flat, and B, and that's over the 5. So that should be like a D flat minor 7. Now you're on the 1 after that 5, which is the same chord, tucker chord we've been playing, just a regular old G flat major chord, which is G flat in the left, G flat, B flat, and D flat in the right. Then you're gonna go to the 2. Once you go to the 2, you got A flat on your left, you got G flat, B, and E flat on your right. And if you notice, I am adding the E flat on your left, but you don't have to do that. You got. Now you're gonna go to the 3, and when you go to the 3, you got G flat, B flat, and D flat. You're playing a G flat major chord in your right. Now you're going to the 4. When you go to the 4, you're playing a B major chord. B, E flat, and G flat. This is the choir singing now. Now you're going to walk to the 2. Walking to the 2, you got 1, flat 2, 2. In your right hand, you have A flat, C, and E flat. When you get to the 2, you're playing an A flat major chord. Going to the 3, same chord I just showed you over the 3. You got B flat, G flat, B flat, D flat in the right. Now you're going back to the 4, same chord. B in the left, G flat, B, E flat in the right. Now you're going to the 5. D flat in the left, B, E flat, A flat in the right. So that's 1. And if I didn't show you that, that's going from the G flat major chord to a D flat major chord in the first inversion, and that's when you're going to the 5. You can do a little walk down, or you can just go to it. You can go like this, and then just go straight to the 5 that I showed you, to the 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can go from the 1. You can do that if you want. That's over the 6. This is just an option. You don't have to do this. It's 6, and then you got that G flat major chord in your right, which is G flat, B flat, D flat. And then you go down to the D. You got F, A flat, and D flat in your right. And now you got that chord I showed you over the 5, since we're doing like a 5-1-4 progression. E, A flat, B, and I was just doing a D flat, but this is the one I showed you, which is E, A flat, B, and E flat. Or you can, it doesn't really matter which one of these you push. It's just kind of up to your ear and what you would like to hear from either the D flat or the E flat. Or you can do it like the traditional way that most people do it, which is instead of going, you can go. So just showing you that if you want to walk down to the 5, you can go. Which is D flat in the left. D flat in the right, F, G flat, and B flat. That's D flat, F, G flat, and B flat. And you're going to take this chord a half step down to C, E, F, A. Now you can do this chord if you want, which is D flat on the left, B, E flat, E, A flat. Then you're going to that 1, to the 2, to the 3, to the 4, to the 5. All right, so let's start this whole thing over again. That way we can know where we're at. This video is getting kind of long. I'm sorry about that. So after I showed you all that, you got the walk into the 4, and then remember we did the 2, the 2, 3, 4, 5, back to the 1, using that same chord that we've been doing. All right. So after you do once again, the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, you walk up to the 2. Now you're gonna go 3, 4, 5, back to the 1. Okay. From there you go back to the 5, same chord, back to the 1, back to the 2, back to the 3, back to the 4. I'm not gonna go over those chords again because I already taught them. You just gotta redo them. But now we're gonna do this. Where we're walking down from the 4, 3, flat 3, 2, with this little tritone movement. So once you're on the 4, you change the chord to this. This is the first chord that you have doing that walk down. B, A, E flat. You got B in your left hand, you got A and E flat. You're gonna take everything down a half step, chromatically. So you're gonna go down to the B flat in your left, A flat and D in your right, and then you're going to the A in your left, G and D flat. You're still going down chromatically. But now, once you get to the 2, you're on that 2 major chord again, which is A flat in the left, A flat, C, and E flat in the right. So. Go to the 3 using that same G flat major chord. But now you're going to skip to the flat 5 and play A flat, C, and E flat. It's a A flat major chord over C. Now you're going to that 5, which is B flat in the left hand, B, E flat, A flat. So once again, from the very top of that, not the top of the song, but the top of when we're getting ready to do the 5-1-4 progression, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 1. And you got the 5, 1 to the 4. Now we're doing that 2, 3, flat 5, 5. That's where we left off. And then you go to the 2. When you go to the 2, you got this chord, A flat in your left, G flat, B flat, C, E flat in the right. That's A flat in the left, G flat, B flat, C, E flat in the right. And I am hitting the E flat on my left too, if you want, or you can take it out. Now you're gonna go to the 5. Again, so D flat and A flat on your left if you want it, or take it out. B, E flat, G flat. Oh, sorry, A flat. That's B, E flat, A flat. So next chord. Okay, so you got back from the top of that part, from the 1, 5, 1, 4, you got walk again. That walk that I showed you earlier, the one that we've been doing, you're doing that again. But most of the time, when I do that on this part, I don't walk back up from there. I just, when I'm on the 5, you just do that. You just stay on the 5. When I just showed you this chord, that's the last chord we left off on. From here, you do the D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat, A flat, B, back to the D flat, G flat, B flat, that A minor in first inversion, so you got C, E, A, you got A flat in minor in first inversion, which is B, E flat, A flat, and then back to the 1. G flat, D flat in your left, B flat, D flat, G flat. So once again, from the top of that part, you got the 1, walking down to this 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, walk to the 2, walk to the 3, 4, 5, 5, 1, 4, walking down to the 2, using the tritone movement, 3 to the flat 5, that's where we just left off. You stayed on that 5 and did that movement again. Now you're basically back into the verse part again, where you're going from that F major chord to the G flat major chord or F sharp major chord over the 5, and then back to the 1. Doing that walk up again, walking to the 3, walking to the 6, to the flat 2, walking to the 5, to the 3, 6, to the 2, to the 5, to the 1. Now there is something that they did on like the second go around. I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. We've been in a revival all week, and I'm just, we pretty tired. But so sometimes when they go back to that 1, like they'll go through the whole verse the way that I showed you, the whole 5-1-4 part that I showed you, and then walk into like the flat 5, the 5. They'll do all that stuff. But when they go back to this 1, you know how usually from the 1 we go, right? Where we do that F major chord to the G flat major chord, and you go to the 5, and then to the 1. Well, sometimes they do this. They do 1, then they go to the 2, using that same type of a 2 that I've been showing you, that with the dominant type of chord. So you got A flat and E flat in your left, and in the right you got G flat, B flat, C, and E flat. That's after the 1. So you got, that's A flat and E flat in the left, G flat, B flat, C, E flat in the right. To the 5, which when I went to that 5 right there, I got D flat in my left, and I got B, E flat, F, A flat. If you want, you can take the F out and just play the 5 like we've been playing it, which is B, E flat, and A flat. Or you can hit that in there, the F, back to the 1. Now, last thing I want to show you, because then from there, it literally just goes over the same progression that I just showed you, and then goes up to G. So I won't show it to you in G. That's your homework. But they do Like there is something that you can do extra whenever you're doing that walk up from the walking from the 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Whenever you're doing that, I had showed you this. Or you can do it another way too. You can go, and I don't know if you can see it on my keyboard since the camera might be going off, but I have in my right hand, when you're over the 3, and your left hand, which is B flat, I have B flat, D flat, and G flat in my right. When I go to the 4, you can do, when you go to the 4, it's B in your left hand, and your right hand, you got A flat, B, E flat. When you go to the 5, you got D flat in your left, G flat, B flat, D flat in the right. Now I'm okay. Now when you go to the 6, you got E flat in your left, D flat, F, A flat in your right. That's E flat in your left, D flat, F, and A flat in your right. I was trying to go to this chord too early. So you got F when you go to the 7, because you're going 7 to the 1. You got F in your left hand, and your right hand you got E flat, G flat, and A. And then you're right back at the 1, which is G flat, D flat, G flat, and B flat. Okay, so that's pretty much the song. I'm going to play it again. I'll just play it through it, and then I'll shout out the numbers on the second go around. All right? And then we'll get out of here. Oops. So I messed it up. But and there's another part that I did not show you. Woo, this is way over an hour now. I'm so sorry. But another part. So whenever we did that 2, 3, flat 5, 5. Now you want to go 5, 6, 7, 1. So I gotta show you that part. So this is on that 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk to the 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 1, 2, go 2, 5. Man, I'll just mess that all up. Then 5, 6, 7, 1. Man, I hope that makes sense. So let's go from that walk down going to the 4 or 2. Going to the 2, back to the 5. Now 5, 6, 7, 1. That's what I didn't show you. Okay, so we're gonna walk down from the 4. Walk down from the 4 to the 2, 3, flat 5, 5. With all the chords I had shown you on that part. Now you're gonna go to the 2. With that same type of dominant 2 chord that I showed you earlier. Back to the 5. Now you're gonna go from the 5, which is just a D flat major chord. D flat on the left, A flat, D flat, F on the right. And you go to the 6, because you're going 5, 6, 7, 1. You're going 6, you got E flat on the left, G flat major chord on the right, which is G flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. You got F on the left, A flat, D flat, F on the right, and then to the 1. And then from there, you're going to do that. Okay, so let me try to play it again in an hour and 13 minutes. Okay, I'll play this and then we'll be done. So I messed it up. Messed up the timing, but I really hope this video helps you. I was way off on some of that, like with the rhythmic change and stuff like that. Like, so I just listened to it earlier, but hopefully this helps you. If that was too confusing, I will make another video. Hopefully that's not an hour and 16 minutes long, and try to help you out with this song as best I can. But hopefully that gets you a start. Just let me know. Drop me a comment, drop me a message, whatever you need, and I will help you out as much as I can, and hopefully do a better video next time. Until then, God bless you. Keep the video, the song requests coming, because I really love making these videos, and I'll do everything I can to help you guys out. God bless you. Have a great one.